Fill your thirst beside the river. Wash the journey from your hands. Feel the comfort flow inside you. Come this far, you understand.
Hi. Welcome to Healing Outside the Box. I'm Rosemary Lachance, and I'm an energy healer and a spiritual teacher.
Hi, and I'm Dina Scungio, and I'm a student and a teacher of spirituality.
And we're co-hosts for this thought-provoking series and are dedicated to providing you with food for thought information and answers to all modalities of alternative healing, spiritual development, animal welfare, environmental concerns, and so much more in the form of guest speakers who are experts in their fields. This series is recorded and will be shown in your area on your local public service cable network. Please contact them for dates and times.
If you have a group that you think would be interested in what we have to offer, we're available to come and teach from this series. We will give you our contact information at the end of the show. Please visit Rosemary's website and click on My TV Show, where you will find a wealth of information about the show. Our shows are now available for you to watch free on YouTube as well. Just go to YouTube and type in Healing Outside the Box to make your choices. We are constantly adding new shows, so keep checking back. We are also on Facebook under Healing Outside the Box. Please like our page on Facebook, and you'll see all the latest information about the show. And we hope you enjoy the show.
Okay, tonight is our 176th show. And the title of it is Communicating with Angels. And our guest tonight is Carla Augustyn, a spiritual teacher and healer. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Let me give you a little information about Carla. Carla is a spiritual healer and teacher. She holds a master's degree in transpersonal studies from Atlantic University, which was founded by Edgar Cayce. She studied energy therapy at the Institute of Healing Arts and Sciences and went on to become a Reiki master teacher on integrated therapy, an integrated therapy master instructor. Is that all one?
That's all one.
She has received numerous certifications in the healing arts. Carla is certified by both Doreen Virtue as an angel therapy practitioner and by Trudy Griswold as an angel speak facilitator. She also completed the School of Spirituality program at Mercy Center. Carla's mission is to help women connect to their spiritual nature and inner knowing as they may experience a more peaceful and fulfilled life. How about men?
I mostly work with women now. I mean, men do attend my classes, the public classes, but I just work with women because I work out of my home.
Oh, okay, very good. All right. So the first thing we always ask our guests is, how did you get into this? When did you find your spirituality? When did your awakening?
Yes, I've been searching. I've been on the spiritual journey, I think, my whole life. I've been searching and seeking and always having questions. Of course, I didn't think that way as a child, but I always had questions and wanting to know and wanting to understand who or what God was, and just being very curious. And so as a child, I was searching for different answers, and I was having different mystical experiences.
Were you?
I was, and then off I go to teenage years and young adult, and it probably went a little dormant for a while. And then once I hit my 20s, I just started exploring. It was kind of back burner stuff, but over 30 years ago, I was taking a Tai Chi class, and then I'd be looking into natural cosmetics, and then I'd be looking into gemstones. And so I never stuck with anything. It was like I was dabbling all the time, just enjoying it and just experiencing a little bit. And then I would say in my 40s is when it really amped up, and I've been very focused for close to 20 years on my spiritual journey.
Yeah, so you were always interested in the alternative, never
I was
the mainstream,
always there.
right? Were you raised Catholic?
I was raised Catholic, and I used to, my first 4 years of grade school where it was at a Catholic school and the nuns teaching. And I was riveted when they talked about the soul. I mean, I would sit up straight at my desk when it was religion time and she would talk about the soul. I couldn't get enough of it because they would say it was something you couldn't see, only God could see. And I wanted to see my soul so badly. And I would try to imagine what my soul looked like. And I would create it in my head, you know. And now I know, I mean, on the spiritual journey, we do, that's the point of the spiritual journey, is to see our soul. We are trying to see the truth of it. What does God see when God looks at us?
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to find out.
Our soul is what we look like.
It's what we look like.
Do you know what I pictured when I was a kid?
What did you
I did the same thing you wanted to look like. I pictured the heel of a man's shoe, the sole,
Did you?
all in white with mortal and venial sins, black and brown spots on it.
I did picture the sins because they did say sins were on there, and I'd be like, wow, I wonder how I'm doing, you know, because I'd want to know, are there a lot of, because I pictured it as a circle. I always love circles.
Yeah, and I did the sole of a man's, the heel of a man's shoe. I'm
that's
sorry.
really,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Isn't that funny how we do those when we're kids?
Glad you didn't teach me that.
So, so what does that say when kids are, you know, interested from that point on, you know, in terms of it, you know, wanting that?
For me, it's that when we were on the other side, we learned our lessons well, and we were in a past life and so forth. We were doing that, and we came back with a lot of knowledge and anxious to get going with that.
Get going with
and
it.
you start off, everybody starts kids with mainstream. And then when you, like, if you're like myself, when you're a little kid and you ask, when I first saw Spirit, and I asked my aunt, did you see that? And she said, oh, yeah, I saw that. I said, little kid, 3 years old. She didn't see that.
She didn't see that.
She's just patronizing me, but I didn't know what the word meant.
Right.
But she's just, you know, and then I clammed up and didn't tell anybody anymore.
You do know not to say anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think about different things and kind of come up with my own theories and how God was, but I knew never to say anything. Not, I didn't feel threatened. I just knew just keep it to myself.
I know.
And you must come in with that too.
Yeah.
That knowledge to do that.
Yeah, that's right. That you
Yeah.
come in with that. Yeah. Okay.
Why?
Why what?
Why not say anything? Was it not?
Well, you know, there'll be repercussions in terms of people's reaction, and I think it feels so sacred, even at that age, that you're thinking about something, understanding something, and you want to keep it sacred. And so, not consciously as a child do you think it, but it's just maybe I shouldn't, you know, maybe I shouldn't say anything about this and just kind of keep it to myself. And then in some ways I thought, oh, everybody's thinking about this stuff. I'm not alone.
Yeah, well, I didn't think that they were. I just kept it to myself because I knew I wasn't going to get any answers from them. I wasn't going to get any knowledge, and it wasn't going to do any good to do that. It was like just my own personal, myself and the spirits I talked to, my dolls, my toys. They always talked to me. I talked to them. You know, everything was alive to me. Everything had life.
All right.
Yeah,
Would
that's
they
how I
tell
felt.
you to keep it quiet or no?
No, they didn't tell me to keep it
They
quiet.
didn't say anything.
No, I just preferred the
You just knew to.
talk with them.
Right.
Like, and of course, that was spirits, you know.
Right. Well, I know I saw a spirit when I was younger, and it terrified me. It really scared me.
Really?
And I tried,
Oh,
yeah, it
no.
did. I know it didn't mean to, but it did. Because it was looking very friendly sitting on the couch. I'd gotten up very early one morning, and I was going to my parents' room, and there it was sitting on the couch, and it was friendly, it was smiling, but I just ran back, got under the covers, and waited for my parents, and told my parents about it, but they were like,
Yeah, sure.
yeah, sure. So I thought I saw the boogeyman. That's what I thought it was. That's why I was so scared. They're like,
So you
yeah,
thought it was
okay.
boogeyman,
What do you
yeah.
want? What do you want for breakfast? Kind of ignored.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's true.
How did you find the Atlantic University founded by educators?
Yes.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. Oh, I loved it. It's a distance learning program. You do go there for some. You can go there for some of the classes. And it's a very spiritual program, and I loved it. I really grew from that. A lot of good classes, and I had been searching for the longest time. I didn't know what. I just wanted to get my master's. It just felt important to me to do. And I was being called to, but I wasn't finding the right program. And I knew a traditional program was not going to do the trick for me. And like my background's in social work, but I just knew a traditional program in master's in social work wasn't going to be it for me. And then a friend of mine was saying how she was reading these Edgar Casey books. I didn't know who he was. And she's like, oh, you got to read about him, you got to read about him.
He's
And she
amazing.
kept bothering me, and it's really direction from Spirit when this happens in
Oh,
our
yeah.
lives. It is. And she kept telling me this, and I finally thought, well, let me go on and look up who this guy is. And I did, and I was fascinated, and then I saw Atlantic University, and then, you know, the rest is history. I enrolled, and I loved it.
You know, we Carolyn and myself and Dina, we do these shows because we want people to know that they're not alone. You're not alone out there. If
Exactly.
If you
Yeah.
have see these spirits, if you have spiritual feelings, and memories of things, anything, don't worry about it. You're not alone. And if you can't find anyone to talk to, go out like Carolyn did. Find people out of your own family or your own friends. You can find a lot of people that understand. So don't feel bad, and don't think you're crazy. Okay, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
There are really a lot of people out there who've had experiences, and I think they just don't talk about it because either they don't understand it or they think if they talk to you about it, you're going to think they're cuckoo or something.
Definitely. I mean, people wait for being in like-minded company, and that's what I love about classes, whether I give them or I go to them, is that generally speaking, you're with like-minded people, and you find a lot of support. And I'm in awe of how many times in class someone will say, well, I've never shared this with anybody else, but I want to share it in this class which is always highly complimentary to me. That means they feel safe to share
Right,
it
exactly.
in my class. And they have amazing experiences. So many people have heard spirits since they were a child, but never told anybody. And then even continuing on as adults, they've gotten messages from deceased loved ones, or they have great angel stories, or they just, have had little miracles happening all the time. It's really something.
Before we go any further, I want the audience to know that you have your own little television show.
I do.
It's a half-hour show, right?
Yes, it is.
In Brantford, and what's the name of it?
Spiritual Invitation.
Okay, and Carla Augusta, and they can find it on YouTube also.
Yes, you
put
can
some up
find it
there,
on YouTube.
and they can see it on public service television in
Yes,
Brantford,
Brantford,
Tutucket, and
North Haven here.
North Haven, yeah.
And also in Madison and Guilford.
Okay, so just go on your public service television schedule or call the station, and you can find out and watch her wonderful show with all her great guests too.
And on YouTube, you just type in Carla Augustyn?
Yeah, Carla
Oh,
Augustyn.
okay.
Just type that in, and all the shows come up.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay.
Okay. All right. So, what is your show about?
My show is twofold. The first purpose is that I like to show to the viewer that everyone who's been on a spiritual journey, it usually starts in a different way. No one can tell you how to be spiritual. That's the beauty of spirituality, is no one can. It's such an individual road. And so every guest is asked the same two questions. When did you begin your spiritual journey? And also, how do you define spirituality? And of course, every answer with every guest is always different. And that's what I want the viewer to see. Some people begin childhood, some people very late in life. Some people it's brought on because of an illness, some people death of a loved one. They've always been curious, that type of thing. So it's always very different. And then the second purpose is to provide a platform for the guest to say what it is that they do, because I really want this information out there. I so want it to be mainstream. So whether it be people that are in the healing arts, or authors, or people that have had extraordinary experiences, for them to come on and share it. And I like what you say all the time on your show. It's just food for thought, and getting people more and more comfortable with, oh yeah, I've heard of that. It may not be for you, but you've heard about it, and you have a better understanding of it, and you might feel freer to recommend it to someone that you know, because you've learned about it.
Well, our motto is you don't try to convince anyone of anything.
No, I
you
agree
don't try
with
to make
you.
them believe anything.
No.
We do quite a few shows on spirituality, and we just say, this is what you just said, food for thought. Take what you need, what you like, and leave the rest.
Leave the rest.
But find something for yourself that will make you feel
There
better.
is something out there. If you're on the
Yeah,
journey,
right.
there's a lot of support that's
there's
out
so
there, and
much.
there's so much support, whether it be in shows, books,
on the web.
On the
everything,
web,
yeah.
so much that's out there. Lots of classes out there.
And don't be afraid to start. And then
No.
if you get this feeling after a while that something's not right here, I don't really like it, leave.
Leave it.
Leave the group.
Right, your spirit's
and find
telling you something,
else.
then go
Always
someplace
listen
else.
to your gut. Because,
Always listen
yep,
to it. Yeah,
all
everything.
the answers are inside of us.
Always
right?
inside of us. Trust it. Don't worry about what other people think.
That's
If
right.
it's just time to move on, it's time to move on. Even a book. Somebody gave me that advice a long time ago, and it was, read as far as you need to go, and if you want to stop, stop. I mean, it's okay. I'm talking about a spiritual book, or any book really, but a spiritual book. You'll get what you need from it. Like, trust the system, trust the universe. You're going to get what you need from something, and everything's a learning experience.
Right, exactly. I've had a lot of books opened and haven't finished because
I have bookmarks in
was
all
no
my
more.
books.
Yeah, they couldn't go any further.
It couldn't go any further. It's the right way to say it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, and then I might go back to it even years later.
Yeah.
And pick up something completely different from it, and that's the freedom that spirituality allows. That's what I love about spirituality.
That's right. Exactly. So, what made you decide to do the show?
Really, because I wanted to provide this for healers. I have such a belief in it. I mean, I love the healing arts, and although I love Western medicine. Western medicine saves lives. It's very important that we have Western medicine. I mean, I have good people in my life, good doctors. But I'm intrigued with the healing arts because it's been around for tens of thousands of years and never goes away. Acupuncture, acupressure, laying on of hands, crystals, herbs, all that type of thing, it doesn't go away. And Western medicine can't say the same claim. Western medicine's very new. Western medicine probably won't be the same in 100 years. It definitely won't be the same in 10,000 years. But we never let go of the healing arts. It kind of goes in and out of favor through the centuries, but it's kind of back in right now, and people are opening up to it because it can take care of a different need.
That's right. We always say that medicine heals symptoms, but naturopath, natural things, heal the problem. They heal the problem.
The core.
Yeah. And of course, doctors are great for fixing bones and operations and taking things out that should be out and things like that. But as far as treating illnesses, herbs and all the other things that you said are much better, and there's no side effects. And they don't kill other things like something like chemotherapy and radiation would do. They may kill cancer cells, but they also kill all the other cells. So there are other ways. Just look for them. If you
absolutely, and we all have to make those tough decisions. You know, I mean, we all have to do it. But I love to learn the term complementary services because there are a lot of complementary services that can make you feel better. So if you do make the choice to go for chemo, something like Reiki is wonderful for helping with the nausea, for helping with the discomfort that can go with it. So
you can combine if you like.
Definitely, you could combine.
Yeah, you can.
Do you have any plans to write a book?
I do. I'm in the midst of it. I've been writing it for a while. It is about angels. I love the world of angels. I love getting the word out about angels, and it's I do hear from my angels, and so it's I won't say it's totally dictated, but it's a lot of information and guidance is coming from my angels. So I pick it up, I put it down, I pick it up, I put it down, but I really hope to get it out in the next year.
Are there more angels around you than just your guardian angels?
There are.
There are. Okay.
Yeah, there are. That's the fun thing about angels.
You too.
They're coming and going in our lives, and we don't even know. We don't need to know, but they are. They're coming and going in our lives. We have at least one guardian angel that's with us our whole life. Right? That guardian angel never leaves our side. Some people may have 2, 3, 4 guardian angels that never leave us, and so they're always there. But other angels, other guardian angels, other archangels, they're coming and going depending upon what we're going through. We might have had a series of them when we were children. If you're fighting an illness, a group of angels will come in. If you're going through anything emotional, if you're grieving, angels will come in. So they're
certain
they're
angels
coming to-
take care of certain things. Yeah.
Certain angels, yeah. I always say there's an angel. If you can think of it, there's an angel that wears that hat. I mean, just ask for that angel that helps with XYZ, and that angel shows up.
So was the angels? How did you get into angels? Did they contact you? How did you?
Well, you know,
your love for them like that.
Well, you know, it did start when I was a child. I always heard this voice. And this voice, I mean, I was in harm's way a number of times as a kid, and this voice would always tell me what to do and save me. And I knew, and I heard it as a very distinct voice. It's not like the chatter in your head. It's not like the ego. It's not the voice of reason. It's not the voice telling you what to do. It's a distinct voice. It was, especially as a child, it was very commanding. I knew to listen. I knew to trust it. And I assumed everybody had this voice in their head. I didn't even think to mention it to anybody. But it would tell me what to do, and it was always right, and I knew to trust it. And I knew as much as my little mind could understand, I knew it was good and it came from beyond. I knew it was separate. I didn't understand it as a being, but I knew it was separate. I figured heaven, but I just knew to pay attention. I was just very, very grateful for it. And so I realized later in life that it was angels that were speaking to me. Right. And that's how I knew about them. But I didn't as a child. And then this voice, it kind of went dormant a little bit. You know, if there was important decisions to be made, it would come through. But other than that, I didn't pay much attention. And so then when I was really, in my 40s and searching on my journey, and I went back to school to Atlantic University, I'd written an essay about my voice, and I had a professor who said, how come you don't ask more of it? And I reacted much in the way a lot of people react in terms of their angels, like, oh, I don't want to bother it.
Yeah.
You know, it's there for me.
Do that,
and
don't we?
I'm afraid it's going to run away, and it's there for me in bad times, and I'm happy about that. And so I'm not going to bother.
I don't want to be a pest, but
I don't want to
you?
be a pest. And so he said, oh, I would ask so much more of that voice. And it really got me thinking. And so I did. I started experimenting, and then I realized, oh, it's my angels. And that's what we should do with angels, is that we should start asking for little things, start talking to them in little ways, not wait for the monumental things to happen in our life. Do the everyday, mundane things, asking for their help. And then they're there for us. They are there for us, yeah.
Yeah, I remember, I think when we were talking, when we had breakfast,
yeah.
That voice, I remember I told you that voice told me what to do in dire situations. When I was roller skating, remember, and the car came out of nowhere, and I was going, what do I do, And I heard that voice, fall on your knees, fall on your knees, yelling. Okay,
yelling.
So I did.
Yes.
And I went down with my cousin, grabbed it, and the car just missed us. We were on roller skates. We couldn't do anything else. But that voice was commanding, and you just don't, okay. And I've heard that several times, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It's just like that.
Itchy
It's just
nose.
like that. It's amazing. It's amazing.
How about you? Have you heard a voice?
They call my name a lot.
You hear your name being called.
Oh, yeah, constantly. Someone's always constantly calling my name, and especially if they're trying to get my attention. But I mean, I'll be sitting at work reading something or doing something or just about to doze off, and I hear Dina, and I'm like, what? Why are you calling me?
Yeah.
What do you want? But I don't get anything after that.
You don't get anything after that?
No.
That's funny.
No.
Huh.
No, they call me. How would you define an angel therapy practitioner and an angel speak facilitator?
The difference?
Yeah. Like, what would you say? If someone was looking for that, like, how would you?
Angel therapy was developed by Doreen Virtue. She's done a lot for the angel world. She's the one who's created the angel oracle cards, and so she's the creator of those.
I use those for my readings too.
And I love using the cards. I do too. And so I decided, I didn't know why I was going, but I just decided, again, I was feeling called to go out and take her class in California. It's a 5-day class, and I just wanted to do it, and I didn't even know what I was getting myself into, but I was really glad that I did. And as an angel therapist, you help people connect to their angels, and that's what I love to promote, and do that just to encourage people to do that. And so an angel therapist is someone that helps people being in touch with their angels, doing readings with angel cards and that type of thing. And an angel speak is writing to your angels. And that's very fun, very, very exciting, very interesting to do. So I've written to my angels daily for years and years and years. I would say at least 10 years, just checking in with them and talking to them.
Yeah, maybe you can give us a teeny example of each one, so people we don't want to give away what you teach, but so people can get an idea of like you say, teaching them how to communicate, right? You said
Right.
Give me just a little bit of a sample. Tell somebody.
Or
what would I be getting into, huh?
Yeah, why would you want to talk to your?
Yeah,
You know,
what you want to,
okay.
and just how,
That's
just a little
it.
smidge of how you would. One example.
Like
One
how
little
you would
example.
I would encourage people to reach out to their angels because angels really want to help us. Angels were created by God to bring peace to our lives. That's what they're supposed to do. The angels that are closest to earth, the angels, guardian angels, and archangels. So that's their job. That's what they want to do. And they are. They're always trying to speak to us in some way. And even if you don't actually hear them, believe me, you hear. I always say everyone spiritually hears. So even if you're not hearing a voice, you hear through your gut, you hear through your heart, you hear through your intuition, you hear through your feelings, you just get a sense. That's how you hear. And so angels will communicate with you in the way that they think you will best receive it. Signs, symbols, things along that line. And so they want to create a relationship with us. They really want that. They want to be more than the distant neighbor. I always say we tend to think of angels as, okay, I know they're there like a neighbor in an emergency, but I'm not going to bother them. And much like I thought the same thing when that teacher told me to reach out to them. But really, angels want us to invite them in. They want to, because when we ask an angel for help, they can do so much more for us. And in angel speak, we get into a lot about how to actually ask. You know, people tend to be modest, a little shy with their angels, not want to bother their angels. And it's like, no, bother them. They want to be bothered.
They do. They won't interfere, right?
They won't interfere.
Unless
That's the
you
thing with
ask.
free will. You
Yep.
have to ask.
You have to ask.
They'll do what God asks them to do, and lots of times that's divine intervention. But and they're always trying to whisper to us, always trying to gently guide us and
minds
take
are
care
too
of us.
cluttered.
And we get a little too cluttered.
Too busy
and we're
with
not,
things, televisions.
We're not
cell
listening.
I would
phones.
have never
computers.
thought that. I would have never thought to speak to my guardian angel.
Oh,
I
definitely.
just always thought they were there to,
There you go.
turn you in the right direction,
Right,
or
and they do.
scream at you if you're going, doing
right.
the wrong thing. Like, if I'm
Exactly.
dozing off the wrong way, and I know I would have woken up in severe pain. They wake you up to make you move, or
They make you move. They
different
don't want things
like
to happen
that,
right.
But I didn't ever thought of talking to them.
Yeah, well, now
Definitely. That's the
start.
number one thing that you can do is just begin right away and just start talking to them. Whether you talk out loud, whether you talk inside your head, it doesn't matter. The more you talk to them, the more they can help. Angels love details. Angels are great. They're like our spiritual friends, but unlike our human friends, they never get bored with us. They never get tired of us. They don't
give up on us.
They don't give
Thank
up
God.
on us. They don't sleep. They're available 24/7. We never have to pay back an angel. We never have to do something for them. So they're these great spiritual friends. And like I said, they really do want to create a relationship. And one way is in you talking to them and really letting them know how you feel. Even coming here tonight, it was, okay, angels, all right, help me get there and find it very easily. Help me be on time. Help me speak clearly. Help me have a good time. Help me answer all the questions. Like asking for their help in so many ways, whether it be your work, your personal life. Just keep asking for their help.
Now, you said sometimes certain spirits, or I don't know if it means the difference between spirits or angels, but she'd tell me sometimes you have to talk out loud. They can't always hear your thoughts.
God,
Do angels hear your thoughts?
God, Christ, and angels can hear your thoughts.
Okay.
Our loved ones who passed over can't hear our thoughts. We have to speak.
Oh, okay. So,
Okay.
so I don't have to worry about sitting in the car talking out loud to my angel.
No.
No, you can
'Cause
talk.
people
You can
will
talk.
think,
No, yeah,
"Who
right.
is she talking to?"
Right, right.
She's talking to herself again.
You're not going to talk out loud in front of other people anyway, are you?
You never know. I don't know. Can they hear me?
No, I mean, if somebody's sitting next to you, you're not going to do that.
Do they have names, your angels? Do they,
You could ask them.
You can ask them. Yes.
You have spirits, you have guides, you have teachers, angels, guides, teachers, and animals that are always
hanging
with you.
around you all the time?
Mm-hmm.
They're part of what we call, I like to say, your angel entourage. They're part of your angel team. They're part of your spiritual entourage, and they're there to help you. So whoever needs to help you will always step up to the plate. And, angel, just saying the word angel is an easy way to do it. Just asking your angels for help. But some people have certain saints or ascended masters that they really believe in and trust. Other people, it could even be your deceased loved ones can be a part of your angel team. Angels never get their feelings hurt, so it doesn't matter if you're always talking to your grandmother who is so beloved. If the angels need to step up and take care of it, they've heard it because you've opened it up. You've opened up the door. You say, Grandma, I need help in this. Or, St. Michael, I need help with that. Whoever it is that you are opening up to, whoever needs to swoop in and help does.
Let me give you a little example. You got to use your little common sense, and this is what happened to me. I had been told that I had two of my guides were Native American, right? So, and then they said, ask the name, and I'm asking the name. I'm not getting anything. So I went for a walk, and it's along the reservoir. And this truck went by, and there was something under the truck. And I'm going, oh, what is that? I thought it was an animal or something. And the truck went, and this thing comes floating down, and it was a feather, a nice big feather. And I said, I think I'll keep this. I walked a little bit farther down the road, and I came by on the other side, and there was another feather. And I said, oh, 2 feathers. And I went, 2 feathers? That's your name, isn't it? Your name is 2 feathers.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah.
And that's, you got, it just kind of, and they were like, yeah. And another time, too, I was exercising. I was dancing to spiritual music. And I was asking another one, what's the name? And as I'm doing this, I'm going with my hands, and then I went, oh, and I went like that, like I was soaring. And I go, soaring eagle. I'm a soaring eagle. And I went, soaring. That's your name, soaring eagle. So, that's
it will come to you.
Yeah.
That's how they get messages to you.
Through us,
I mean, a lot of signs and through metaphor and symbols and it'll come to you if you start opening up to repetition, to synchronicity. If you open up to it, you do start seeing the universe is talking to you.
We also talked about sometime you have a problem, you're going to work and you're thinking about something, and you put the radio on, and the words, that first song that comes out is your answer.
Things
like that happen. Or somebody will say something to you. You're looking for an answer, and somebody will come along and say, like there was this great movie called Grand Canyon, and she was running. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
She was jogging, and she wanted to know what the baby, she found a baby, and she took it home, but then she gave it, they had to give it up, to the, and she didn't want to, and it was on her mind, and she's running along, and there was this hobo walking, and he's going, and when he went by her, he went, keep the baby. And she went, and that was the thing, she went, she got the baby. So,
nice.
Things like that, you just never know.
You never know. And the angels will speak a lot in repetition. So if you're getting repetitive messages, chances are good that it's your angel. So for instance, you think, I want to get into an exercise program, I don't know what to do. And all of a sudden, you're hearing the word yoga everywhere you go. I mean, you can't pick up a magazine. Your friend says she's taking a yoga class. Yoga. It just means that's a suggestion, okay? Angels don't tell us what to do. They guide us, but they don't tell us what to do. And if you're like, no, absolutely, I don't want yoga, they'll find something else to direct you to, So we're always in charge. We're always making the decisions.
Give you an example of that, too, because these things happen to me. It's funny you bring them up. It was about my animal guides, and I had a healing, and somebody said something about there's buffalo near me. Buffalo. I go, buffalo? No, I don't have a buffalo, my guide, So then I went to an office somewhere, and I'm sitting, and I picked up a magazine, and I opened it up, and there was a buffalo.
Oh.
All right? then I was watching television, and they had a commercial with a buffalo. Okay.
I'm convinced.
It was verifying me that was
absolutely
truth.
Yeah.
Buffalo is one of my spirit, and that's why I have the white buffalo.
Oh.
See, you got to be open and aware. You can't just say blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and when a connection's been made, like you've heard the word yoga before, but you'll know all of a sudden, geez, I'm hearing it a lot, like it's coming through a lot, and people, why is that? And then you start to question it, and then so the repetition and certainly that type of thing, it rings true.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem silly. It doesn't seem. It's just like eureka. Like this is it. I understand what this means.
And you can ask them. You could say, "Is this really true? Tell me. Send me something."
Yeah, send me another sign.
Yeah, I need
send me another
something.
sign.
Let me know.
When I was trying to decide whether or not to go out and take the Doreen Virtue class, it seemed like an extravagant thing to do. I wasn't even sure why I was going to do it. I just had this feeling, go take this class. And I was turning 50, so I decided it was going to be my 50th birthday present to myself. But still, to go out to California, stay there a week, and that type of thing. So I asked my angels to send me a sign. That day, I ended up getting 3, but that day my daughter came home from high school, and she says, Mom, somebody gave me something, and I think you'd like it better. And it was an angel ankle bracelet. Wow. And so I'm like, okay, well, I was still unsure. You can ask your angels for 100 signs if you need them. Again, you're never pestering them. And I said, I need another sign. I'm still a little concerned about going. And a couple of days later, my sister called and said, Doreen Virtue's coming to New York. Do you want to go see her? I'm like, Mary, I think I'm going to go out to her class in California, but you were just my sign. And then finally, the third way is I started calling people that were listed on her website in Connecticut that had gotten their angel therapy practitioner certification. And I was kind of picking their brain, and I started talking to this one woman who wrote to angels. And so we're going back and forth, and I'm telling her, trying to understand what I was going to learn out there. And she said, well, the whole time you've been talking, I've been writing to your angels. Do you want to know what they have to say? And I said, sure. And she said, they said, if you don't go this semester, you'll go the next. If you don't go in the fall, you'll go in the spring. And that's all it took to convince me, okay, I'm going. Because I realized angels are very chill about stuff. If I was meant to take that class, they'd be on me till the rest of my life. I mean, they don't mind. They don't mind. They'll tell you for the next 50 years, maybe you should think about this. They never tire. They don't get exasperated and quit. So with that relaxed tone of, well, if you don't do it in September, you'll do it in May. I just thought, okay, I'm going.
See, I think that the thing is we get too distracted by everything that's going on in our lives. And all the contraption and devices, cell phones and computers and televisions and everything, that we don't hear the signs. We don't hear the talk. We don't see them. We don't hear the talking in our heads. Nothing like that.
No, we don't.
That's the problem.
We don't
well,
get
the
credit.
Talk to me. They don't talk to me. When are they going to talk to you?
Right.
When are they going to get in?
They need you calm.
They send messages on your phone.
Do you get them?
I get messages on my phone.
Oh,
sometimes I get weird messages on my phone.
You're too much. But anyway, that is true. We're bombarded all the time, and right?
Right. So it is nice to have quiet time, and in your car, if you're driving to work or wherever you're going, is a good time to keep the radio off and to just start talking to your angels, because you're focused on your driving, and you can just start spouting off to them. Taking a shower. A shower is a great time to talk.
Great. A lot of great things happen to me in the shower.
And water is just such a good transmitter, and it's just a lot of good things happen. Then you're gardening. You're doing one of your hobbies.
I love gardening.
You're
that's
drifting
when I'm
off
at
to
peace
sleep.
when my hands are in the dirt.
Yeah, you're drifting off to sleep,
I love
and that's
gardening.
because you're touching the earth, and it's just such a wonderful. Your mind can wander. I mean, you're doing something creative, but your mind is just emptying out and at peace. So there's lots of different ways that we can kind of quiet ourselves, and angels are always trying to help us get to that point too. So they might have your friend call you. If you're very stressed out, a friend might call and get you laughing, and it's to relax you, because when we're clenched, we don't hear anything. We don't even hear the voice of reason. We don't hear a thing. But when we're relaxed, then we're much freer to receive. And that's another thing too. We talked about this before, Rosemary, but angels are funny. I mean, angels are always trying to get you laughing. They have a great sense of humor, and they try to get us laughing because it does loosen us up. When we're laughing, life doesn't seem so serious. Our problem doesn't quite seem as serious, and it gets our mind off ourselves. So it's just so freeing to laugh.
That's what I was thinking when you were talking about what your angel's name was, and you saw a feather, and I was thinking, oh, my angel's name is Candy Wrapper.
You see him all over?
Candy Wrapper.
You're so
Hey,
funny.
that's her name, Candy Wrapper.
Well,
It just came in my head. I don't know. It just popped in my head.
I remember once when I was listening to a woman who was able to channel, and she was saying about how we should meditate, how it's so wonderful for us, and our minds are quiet, and it's also wonderful for our bodies. And she said, and the Spirit was saying this through her, and said, and also it'll keep you looking younger, because your face will be nice and smooth. and then the Spirit said, see, we have a sense of humor too.
Yeah.
Everybody laughed in there. We're sitting very quiet. All of a sudden, everybody started laughing. But you're right. I just wanted to verify what you said.
They do
have a sense
they
of humor.
have a sense of humor. They can be very funny when you start to get to know them, and they'll make you laugh, and they'll just do little things that you'll think, oh, it'd be almost like your personal joke between the two of you.
Yeah. When you say write to them, do you mean write the same thing as if you were saying?
Yes,
Is
you
any
learn.
difference?
Anybody can learn to write to their angels, and angels speak. Really, they call it like a dictation. Okay, it's not a free form, freely writing anything coming
You mean
in.
them talking through you and you're writing it down?
Yeah, the information comes through you.
Like automatic writing.
But it's not automatic writing in that it's specifically from your angels. It's
Okay.
more dictation. It's not something kind of comes in and takes over.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
almost like the angels are whispering in your ear in some way, and you're just supposed to start writing. And whatever word pops into your head, that's good. Think of it
That's a
as
good way to get started.
yeah, just think of you kind of there's a way of getting started, but we kind of take some deep breaths, and then we think about a question, and then we just start out, I love you, and is really how we start it, because you're thinking your angels are telling you the information, and it's I love you, and then whatever comes. So if it's one word like feather, then you just write down feather, and you don't judge it. You just write it down. And it's really fun in class because people that don't know each other will write for each other. And it's really much easier to write for someone you don't know than to write for yourself,
Huh.
So, and it's amazing the messages that will come through, even if it's just one word that happens.
That you would need,
The person receiving it will know what that means.
Can they communicate to you through your dreams, too?
Oh,
Do you think
definitely.
they cause you to have...
Yes, they definitely.
Yeah.
We know angels come about in different ways, and one of the ways is dreams. So if somebody comes to you in a dream and has a message, because the word angel actually means messenger of God. And so if there's an individual in your dream, you feel very peaceful. It's not an upsetting dream, so you feel very peaceful, and they have a message for you like, don't worry, everything will be fine. And you wake up and you think, I don't know who that person was. It wasn't a deceased loved one. Chances are very good that it's an angel. Angels don't have to have wings. They don't have to appear in dreams
No, they don't
that
even
way.
have wings.
They don't
It's
need
the
to have
aura
wings.
that people see, yeah.
People just see exactly. And so, they don't have to be dressed in white.
No, that's just something church
It's
does,
just
yeah.
it's just something that artists created. People feel comforted looking at an image of an angel with wings, and that's lots of times how we can
Oh, okay.
identify
All right, yeah.
an angel. So angels do appear to people with wings, but angels can come in a way that, any shape or size, male, female, and, bring a message. People, angels we know come to people in near-death experiences. When they say people go down the tunnel, and lots of times where the bright light is, they're met by a deceased loved one who says it's not your time, it's time to go back. But oftentimes it'll be someone, they'll say, I didn't know who it was, but I think they were an angel. I felt that they were an angel.
Someone holding on to it.
And they're holding on. And angels come around a lot too in hospice situations. There's just some awesome accounts of angels visiting people as they're nearing the time of death, especially children. And children have such an innocence, and as sad as that is, thinking of children being in hospice, the children themselves have reported the angels come at night. I play with the angels. They ask me, do I have any questions?
Really?
They tell me what it's going to be like. Just some very, very moving reports.
A great movie that would show that is that City of Angels. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Excellent movie.
Mm-hmm.
Children can see them more than we can because they're fresh over from
They're
the other
fresh
side.
over.
Yeah.
They have no problem. They
Yeah.
think a lot of also imaginary friends
Yeah.
are really their angels.
I had them when I was young. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you, if a child, if you've ever had, talk about naming your angels, have you ever had a favorite name since childhood? You don't know why, you just always love the name Lily, say. And it's not like you named your kids Lily or your pets Lily, but you always loved that name Lily. Chances are very good as a little one, even though you've forgotten it now, you were visited by an angel and she said her name was Lily.
Oh.
So there's
Always
lots
like
of...
Salvatore. That was always one of my favorite names.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. And that's that, I would say, it's you can ask, is that your name, Salvatore? But I would say that's a very good...
I always thought if I had kids, I would name them Salvatore or Christopher. Those two names were always my favorite. Since I was a kid, I've always liked those names. So.
There you go.
Yeah, and you can even, you don't have to know the name of an angel. You can just say angels. Angels, I need help with this. Angels, I need help with that. It's fun to know the names of angels, so you can certainly ask your angels, and you can just name them whatever name you want. If you want to start naming them Salvatore, you can start talking to your angel as Salvatore or Christopher.
Yeah, we could do that.
Hey, yo, Sal, what's going on? So there's different kinds of angels. I mean, just because you passed over, you don't become an angel, right?
Oh, no.
There's different
Good question.
levels of angels. Or...
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Okay.
Angels, really, for the most part, there's a little discrepancy in some books, but for the most part, angels weren't created to be human, and angels haven't been human. So lots of times people will ask me, well, what about my deceased loved one, my grandma? I think of her as my angel in heaven. Well, yeah, definitely. She is acting like your angel. She's there for you. But she's not technically an angel, but she's part of your angel team. Okay. Angels are these spiritual beings that were created to do lots of different things.
They've never been human.
They've never been human.
Have no sin or anything like that.
No sin. They're totally
no karmas,
pure.
anything.
Angels, actually, this is why angels like you to talk and give lots of details too, because angels have never felt sadness. They're pure love. They have never had a negative experience before, and it's impossible for them to be negative. So they've never felt grief. They've never felt anger. Now, they're very superior spiritual beings, so they know how to help us. But it's very important to us to say, I'm really angry about this, and I need you to help me get through it. I don't know how to deal with this. Help me to get, this is how I'm feeling, and I don't want to stay angry, but I have to deal with this. So, so it's like, so reaching out and asking them for that kind of help. So they love the details. Angels love details. Makes their job easier.
The ones that hang around you are guardian angels?
Yeah, and angels can come and go. You always have the one guardian angel. A lot of books will say 2, but you could have 3 or 4. But you always have at least one guardian angel that never leaves your side. I always think of my guardian angel as kind of like the gatekeeper and sort of in charge of who's coming and going, because there's lots of things happening around us coming and going. A lot of spiritual help is there for us coming and going. So we have lots of the guardian angels are available to us. I call them just like the regular angels that do different. It's just this whole entourage. I mean, there's an army of angels, the archangels as well. Important to remember, everybody has access to the angels, and everybody has their own angels. You are never taking an angel away from somebody else. Don't ever think, oh, my problem is trivial, or my concern is small. There's so many things going on in the world. Go help other people. No, they're there helping other people.
So many people do that.
So yes, so many people do that, and
I
it's
used to always do that as a kid. I used to never want to bother my angels or God, even there's people out there who have far
we're
worse
trained
problems
that.
than
Lots
we-
of times it's been told to us, and as kids we confuse what the message means.
Yeah, eat your supper. Somebody's starving.
So somebody's
Yeah,
starving,
Yeah.
and then you
The
feel
kids
bad,
in
and then I'm
China
glad I'm
are
not
starving.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not starving, and then you
Yeah.
get all scared. I mean, that's how it got, and so we don't teach our kids, and I taught my kids about God, but I didn't teach them about angels. I mean, I will grandchildren someday, but I didn't even do it with my own children, and I do now, though. It's never too late to do that. But yeah, definitely, reaching out, telling them anything. We're never meant to be alone. Just like we're not meant to be alone living on this planet as a human being. I mean, we've got people in our lives. We have our friends, our family, our colleagues. We have professionals in our lives, like doctors and therapists and ministers, and so we're not meant to be alone. We have lots of teachers, a lot of people that teach us things. Spiritually, we're not meant to be alone, but we have forgotten that coming in, and we, it's good when we awaken to the fact, no, you're not supposed to. Life is hard. Life can be very hard, even if you have a very charmed life and a good life. It can be challenging.
Any minute something could come up.
Something could come up, and even if things aren't happening to us, we have something that happened to a friend or somebody that we care about, or we hear something on the other side of the world, and we feel awful about it.
Them,
So I mean, there's a lot that's going on. But we're never meant to be alone. There's a lot of spirit help that's out there. Angels are one of them, and as I was saying before, you never take them away from something more important. With all that's going on, you can send angels. If you hear a report on the news and you're thinking this is very sad, send people angels. That's a really good thing to do. But just because you're asking for a great parking space during the Christmas rush doesn't mean, your angels don't judge. Angels don't judge anything. If you're saying, no, I need help with this. In fact, those are the good things to ask for starting out with your angels, is to say, help me find a dress for the party. Help me to get a good parking space. Help me to, get through the supermarket in a half an hour or less. Help me to ask them for help.
Really? That's not trivial stuff to them.
It's not trivial. Nothing is trivial. Look, they're standing around you like you are the most important person on the planet to them. They're there for you. And so if nothing else, they want to report to God, no, see, I helped her. She asked, I helped her. I mean, they want to be able to say
Eventually she'll get to the right stuff, but this little
you
stuff
know,
will
this
help
little
you.
stuff is all right. And
all
the
right.
little stuff, if it can bring peace to your life, if it can make life easier for you, they're more than happy to help. More than happy.
Now, I heard you mention archangel. What's the difference between a guardian angel and an archangel?
Well, the guardian angel, like I said, is there for you, through life, and the archangels are almost like in charge of all the angels. Archangels are extremely powerful. Yes, there's an archangel, for very key things that they're in charge of. Some people call them like the managers of all the angels. They're very accessible to us as well. A lot of people just like calling on the archangels and like dealing with them. They're extremely powerful. People that see angels say they're massive, and their energy is just tremendous, but they're also very gentle and very approachable. So there's archangels. The major archangels are, for instance, Archangel Michael, a favorite amongst many people. Archangel Michael, Gabriel, and the messenger, and also Raphael, the healer. So a lot of angels' names ended in EL because EL translates to of God. So Michael is he who is like God. Raphael, he who heals like God. I actually have a book at home like this thick of all different angels' names, so it's kind of interesting to read, but like I said, you don't need to know the name.
When we were created, we were all given a name by God on the other side. And that name, when we get back home again,
that will be our name
will be
again.
Our name. It's always our name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just look at it this way. Your guardian angel is with you. If you don't ask him or her, she's going to be bored. What's she going to do? She's going to be with you anyway. And then think of this: there's plenty of angels to go around for plenty of people all the time, right?
Right. I mean, there's.
Don't ever
bored
think-
with me. My life's way too busy.
No, I mean, if you don't ask for anything, is what I'm telling you.
They like to be busy.
That's
Angels
the thing. You gotta
want
ask.
to be busy.
They don't
They
just
want to
watch
be.
you.
Oh, I heard something.
wanna
cute.
participate.
I heard something cute that angels were the most unemployed spiritual beings in the
Yes,
universe
yeah.
because people don't
Don't.
call on them. The other angels, there's different realms of angels. There's like the seraphim and the cherubim and
Yeah.
the thrones and the principalities, which they're all off in the universe doing all kinds of different things. I tend to not get into that as much. I love the guardian angels and the archangels because they're here to help us, so that's what I get into. But they're all very busy angels, but the ones assigned to Earth aren't as busy because people don't call on them. So you're really, I mean, they're waiting to to be called on.
That's interesting.
For
I
anything.
keep thinking that would make a great movie with everybody's walking around with their entourage of angels walking with them all. And sometimes I have trouble getting through the door, and it's maybe because they're all like pushing, you know. Hey, let me go through first, all right?
I'm with her.
Yo, Sal, back up.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny. That reminds me. You don't have to be gentle with an angel. You don't. They're not fragile. Angels
they
are
like your
not
sense of
fragile.
humor,
They can
too.
take anything you got. If you are very upset with your angels, you know, you can be mad at your angels. The very first class I taught, a woman said, "I'm so angry with my angels right now because I feel like they're not listening to me. Are they mad at me too?" And I was like, "No, they could never be mad at us. Never. They'll fret because they want to get through to us. I mean, they're like, how do I get through to you? And they're doing everything in their power to try to get through, and they're doing everything they can to help. Angel, oh dear.
Whoa. I think you're stepping
That
on
might
the-
have been.
You're stepping on the... Oh, yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
We spilled some water.
Yeah. Might
Sal,
have been.
come
I know.
Hey, Sal, what do you want to tell me, huh? I didn't try to say, I got to go to the bathroom. Sal's like, come on, let's go. No.
We got about a minute left. Can you believe that?
Oh no, I can't. I want to keep going.
I know. There's so much more. And I have more questions and everything.
Can I talk to her angels? I
So,
gotta tell
okay,
them a few things.
you can. You can't tell somebody other's angel what to do.
No.
But definitely, if you're coming from your heart, if you're concerned about someone, you can definitely reach out and just say, "I'm concerned about her. I think this is what would be best for her, but you do what you think is for her highest good." Mothers especially can reach out to their children's angels. Mothers are probably the closest we have to unconditional love on this planet. And so when a mother talks to her children's angels, the angels are listening. But their angels are in charge, her children's angels are in charge of her children, and they will do for their child's highest good what they need to do. But mothers do listen. Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely, you know, if it's coming from your heart, you can definitely talk to someone's angels, but you can't tell them what to do.
She sent mine after me before.
Sometimes the answer is no. It's for your own good, right?
Sometimes it is. I
Yes,
mean,
no, it's for
angels
your
do.
own good.
Angels never hold back. If they can make something happen, they will. So you might as well ask. And but they're not God. They're not
Okay.
God. You know, so they can't take care of everything. But they do what they can do.
Well, we have to stop now, and I'm
God,
sorry.
the time flies
Yeah,
when you're
oh my goodness.
having fun.
Some
So fast.
conversation.
So we're going to give Carla's information so you can get a hold of this wonderful lady. If you need to, get in touch with Carla Augustyn. Her phone number is 203-988-1366, and her website, or is that your email address?
Yep, Carla at carlaaugustyn.com, and then my website is carlaaugustyn.com.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. And if you have,
Nice and easy.
if it's too fast and you can't remember, get a hold of me, and I'll put you in touch with her. Okay. And our contact information. My name, Rosemary Lachance. My phone number is 203-627-7966. My email is whitebuffalo8@comcast.net. And my website is www.rosemarylachance.com.
And I'm Dina Scungio, and my email is freewind1@comcast.net. And on Facebook or Twitter, you can find me under D. Scungio.
And don't forget to look for us on Facebook, Healing Outside the Box. And also, don't forget to go to YouTube to see our shows, which are on there now for free.
Also on And Carla's
And Carla
shows
is
are
on YouTube also.
Yes, I am.
And you can watch her shows for free, too.
Do you have a Facebook page as well?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Okay. We're working on that.
I wanted to read you a quick quote over here that says, "True inner joy is self-created. It does not depend on outer circumstances or outer achievements." And that's by Sri Chinmoy.
Who's that?
He's a famous writer.
Oh.
Okay, well, we have to say goodnight now. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for being here.
Thank you
It was
so much for
wonderful.
having
talk
me.
for
I enjoy. I
hours.
know. I loved it.
We'll do another breakfast.
So glad you
Okay,
came.
that sounds good.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.
See you real soon.
from your hand. Feel the comfort flow inside you. Come this far, you understand.